Hi, I'm Ewan from Ewan-Me, and I'm here in Nuremberg in the Com. And who are you?
I'm Joey Keithley from D.O.A.
And what do you do?
I play guitar, I sing, I write songs, I run a label, and all sorts of things.
Do you think that punk rock has changed, or do you think it's different from what it used to be like and what it is today?
Yeah, some aspects. I mean, at the time when we started, the shows would be like you'd have punk bands, new wave bands, sometimes reggae bands, and experimental bands. You know, it's kind of like that was kind of the scene. It was a big conglomeration. Then punk rock got a little bit bigger, and then different genres of it came out, like hardcore. And then some of the original people really went straight into metal. That kind of changed the sound. I mean, to me, metal's not punk, but there's a kind of an association together. I mean, they're not that far apart musically. Attitude-wise, they're different, much different, I think. So today, I think there's a lot more divisions, not bad divisions, but I mean a lot more genres of music. You have hardcore, emo, thrash, crossover, old school punk, oi. There's a lot, and a bunch of others I'm not remembering at this moment, right? So I think it's, but the sort of the will and determination with a lot of punks are there. I mean, of course, you have bands that are like pop punks, or what in North America we call mall punks. You go to the mall and pick up your punk rock accessories so you can look like one, and the bands kind of look like that. You know the bands I'm talking about. They're kind of like real modern pop punk bands, right? Which, I mean, and I don't really fault anybody for, you play what you play. That's it. You do what you do. That's just life, right? So, but to me, a lot of times that's not real punk rock, right? So, and you don't have to be like an old school fart to sound like a punk rock band. You can be 15 years old and have a great punk rock band. Like, age and the time and style has got nothing to do with it. The attitude is the most important thing.
Okay, and yeah, you were mentioning this attitude. How would you define it? Define the punk rock attitude? I mean, there's different ones in different music. So what would it be?
Sure. I think the biggest ones I look at is like you gotta have like a DIY attitude, do it yourself. You gotta stand up to authority, question authority, and have an idea what's going on in the world. So your band and your friends, you got to do the right thing, and the big thing is why you do that. You got to know the difference between right and wrong. You got to fight racism. You got to fight greed, and you got to fight sexism, and we have to fight together. Like punks and our friends, or we're a small group, so we have to stick together to keep it happening and do some good things in this world.
So what do you think would your heritage be to the younger generation of today?
I think that D.O.A. set like a great example through our actions and through recordings and shows and stuff like that, so people would understand that. Some of the records will be around for a long time, some of them won't. And like anything that comes along in culture, unless it's just really gigantic or really huge in significance for changing things, it does get forgotten after a while, right? And so, but that's one of the things that we as humans have to accept, that nobody is immortal. I mean, Donald Trump might think he is, but he's full of crap. We know that, right? So, as they go on, I mean, a lot of people are taking a lot of spirit and heart out of what DOA's done, as I have myself too. And I think that's a good legacy to leave around. How big or wide that is, I don't know. We'll see. And as I say, as time goes by, things change. Only really significant points in history people really remember. So if you can, but you know what? That doesn't mean you shouldn't try, because not going to be the most significant thing on the face of the earth. Because any good change requires a lot of people putting into it. So here's the key thing there, Ewan, and we can probably wrap this up in a sense that change. A lot of people think change starts with like politicians and like with the media, but really like good change in society and positive change that helps everybody starts in your local neighborhood. You have a good idea, you talk to your friends and neighbors, your family. That idea starts to spread across your town. maybe across your state, maybe across the country, maybe across your continent and the world. Because change starts with people, not with big business, not with big media, not with big government. And the whole thing is like what I've been trying to point out for the last 40 years is that you can enable change, and that change really starts with the people, not with the big people with all the money and power.
With the small people that can change something.
Regular people, yep. I mean, people have a lot more power than they think, and unfortunately, they don't employ it as often as they could. But we try and encourage them to do so.
Then, thank you. I had